Hi all and welcome back. So in this video I'm going to go through the second of our exercises which deals with our truncated cylinders. So similar to the last one, just we're going to go start putting it, maybe kind of mixing it up a bit and starting to change it around so we're not just dealing with just a straight kind of cylinder cutting through or been added to an object. So in this example here we're looking at a design for a hand dryer. So you can see the shape that we have here is kind of this half or semi cylinder here been added to this kind of block shape, and we're getting this sliced cut been taken out to give us the kind of front shape of our hand dryer like so. You can see we have all the dimensions that we need to draw in most of our views, but what we're looking to find is how do we get this elliptical shape here where the actual cylinder is been sliced, likewise where the actual back kind of square rectangular piece has been sliced as well. Um, so we'll just might as well go into it. I mean, just looking at the question itself here, I mean, just make sure you make a note that A is our front elevation, B is our plan, and C is our end view. So C being this time looking from the left means our end view will appear on the right hand side. So there's our kind of plan of that there. So A, B, and then looking from the left, there's our plane we're projecting onto, and there's C then on the right hand side. So let's go and draw in our XY line. Let's draw in our profile views. So the profile view, or the main profile view of our object here is this profile of the top surface here like that. That is this, that's the surface where we see our cylinder here, our cylindrical part here as an actual curve. As I look in from the front, well, I won't see that it's curved. As I look in from the side, I wouldn't see that this guy is actually curved. So only when we look from above do we see this actually as a semicircular curve. So that means that our plan view is our main profile. So that means that I'm going to draw in my plan view. Anything I have drawn in blue here is going to be a light construction line. So just keep that as light as you possibly can using your lightest pencil. So if generally that's kind of a 2H pencil, and then your black lines here will be your HB pencil, or if you have a heavy hand, your blue lines here will be your 4H pencil, and then you'd have a 2H for your finishing off lines. So there's our plan view like that. And just if you remember back to what we said in our work example, like this is the actual fully completed plan view. And looking at this plan view, I wouldn't actually know that the bottom here is sliced because remember, one profile doesn't affect another profile. So the profile that I see here of this basic shape here, whether it's been cut or uncut, I don't know at this stage. All I have is the information about the profile number one. The second profile I want to be concerned with is this slice here like that. So that's our second thing that's interacting with that. And there's our plan view there. So as we look from above, it's projected underneath the object like so. Now I want to draw my profile for my slice here. So where do I see the slice as the actual shape? So where do I know that that's a straight cut as opposed to maybe a curved cut or that? Well, if I look in from the left hand side, I will be looking and see this slice here as an edge. I'll see that, okay, it is actually a straight cut. So I draw in my YY line to facilitate that. I put in my 45-degree lines like so. And remember, the YY line here represents our side wall. So what are we doing? We're projecting across to the side wall, and then really technically it's actually been hinged up here, but the 45-degree line just makes things a little bit quicker. So we draw in the basic shapes like that. So there's our side like that, and actually, I didn't actually draw in the front of it. So the front there will be taken by my line coming down there, coming across, and then that would locate me the front edge here like that. Seems to have been out of sync there. Um, you can see I can actually take some information from this back, like where the slice is here, and where it meets the actual ground. Um, that gives me this edge here. So that actually will give me a hidden edge that I wouldn't have had before. So that is my profile of my slice. It's the profile of my circular portion of here like that. So now what we want to do is kind of go at the same approach that we went before. We want to take our circular profile here and break it up into a number of equal parts. So there's my plan view, as we can see there, projected onto the ground. There's our end view as projected onto the end wall. Now let's bring the two together for our front elevation, are combined. So we're going to take our height across from our elevation. We're going to get the width to give us the general shape of our kind of object. So that's the overall size of it. And then we break up our circular portion here into our 60-30 using our 60-30 set square, and we label it up. Again, I'm just going from left to right. You could go from right to left as long as you can identify the points. you could call it A, B, C, D, as long as it makes sense to you. So we locate those on our circular profile, and then we transfer them across, and we find them on the sliced profile. So 1 goes across, there's number 1 and number 7 on our slice, 2 and 6 on our slice, 3 and 5 on our slice, and lastly then 4 on our slice there like that. And then it's simply a case of taking them straight up from our plan and straight across from our end view. So there's 1 and 7 goes across. Again, these are just light construction lines just to find me the points. I don't have to rub them out afterwards. They should be drawn in light enough at the start that I should be able to just find them. I should be able to just use them and then not have to worry about them again. So there is our, I suppose, our initial starting points, 1 and 7 here. That's also where this straight line is, so that's located. So we just can darken in that because we're going to keep that. And then we do basically bring the rest of our points, so 2 and 6. I'm going to bring them across here. And then 3 and 5 go up, 3 and 5 go across, and then lastly 4 goes up, and then 4 coming across. And there's our combined profiles meeting here to give us our combined shape, our ellipse like that. So that is our front elevation fully completed then. So you can see what have we done? We've projected him back onto our back wall, our vertical plane. So what we have here, here, and here, if I was to take scissors, cut out this section here, I could fold this guy and he would be put into this position here. I could fold this guy up and there he would be on the horizontal plane like that. And then I could just put my model down and I'd have this exact scenario here. So that's what our our kind of plan elevation and our end view are doing for us. They're recreating this 3D representation here. And you can see everything is nice and linked together. So if I put a point, my finger here, I can find it in any view like that. So that's our second exercise. For the next exercise, we're going to do take a similar basic approach. Kind of each time kind of changing up the shape, but trying to keep the concept the same. So hopefully by the end of it, it doesn't matter what the piece looks like. If this kind of concept appears, you'll be able to recognize it. So we'll see you then for the next video.